Hello, my name is Tone Brun, and this is my didactical lesson design. In this lesson design, I will focus on language learning, specifically oral skills, and in cultural studies, the history and origin of some languages. The assignment focus is that my secondary pupils will make their own linguistics podcasts with basis in the poem Cat by J.R.R. Tolkien. This can work with other poems as well, but I found there are many words to work with in this exact poem. The competence aim my pupils will work with is kommentere eget arbeid med å lære engelsk, identifisere vesentlige språklige likheter og ulikheter mellom engelsk og eget morsmål, og bruke dette i egen språklæring, og uttrykke seg med flyt og sammenheng tilpasset formål og situasjon. This project will be an extension of a project we have done about the Scandinavian languages. To make sense of the competence aims for the pupils, we need to break them into smaller pieces called learning goals. This is the learning goals for this design. I want my students to identify similarities and differences between English and Norwegian, to listen to and recite poems, to practice pronunciation, to practice digital skills, to keep a conversation going around a few talking points, and to evaluate and assess your own work and your peers. This lesson design will be continuous during approximately 3 weeks and will have 2 parts. That way we have some milestones before the end of the project. The pupils will work in pairs for this entire period. Part 1 is the preparation part. The pupils will read the poem Cat out loud in pairs. They take turns and listen to each other. Then single out words that you find similar in the Norwegian language. Write all the words in a list. Translate the poem and read it aloud again, both in Norwegian and English. Try to really listen to pronunciation in the 2 languages. And also discuss what happened to the poem when translated. Did the meaning change somehow? The pair will have to do some research on how the 2 languages are related and have at least one talking point about this. And then they should start planning a podcast. The focus in the podcast should be on language and similarities and differences between English and Norwegian. The content of the podcast will follow a certain recipe to make sure every pair knows exactly what to do. Here's the recipe I would give my pupils. Plan in some detail small talk and introduction. And that is where you say something about yourself, where you are from, maybe make a joke to lighten or set the mood, talk about the weather or what clothes you are wearing. And as preparation, the pupils have also listened to some podcasts so they know what this is about. Then read the poem Cat by J.R.R. Tolkien. Plan a few talking points around this poem for free speaking. Comment on the similarities and differences of the words, some of the words, and the pair chooses what kind of words to focus on. I want my pupils to understand what to do in every kind of assignment, which is why I want to give them a detailed plan. But I also want them to think for themselves, which is why some of the content is also quite open. So they need to think. Part 2 is the execution part. Use a good program for recording and editing. For example, you can use your phones for recording and Kreasa for editing. My pupils always get to contribute to these decisions, as they might have skills and knowledge about better programs than I do. And they also need to practice digital skills. Your conversations should be recorded direct, as many times as you feel necessary. Listen over and over and over again until you are satisfied. The conversations themselves should not be edited because we want to see if you have flow when you speak. But you can add sound effects, intro music, background music, and similar effects in your finished podcasts. In this lesson design, the pupils both get to comment on and read poems. They get to reflect upon language learning and how languages are connected. And they get to use creative and digital skills in their own products. Each pair have to read the poem and in that way practice pronunciation, and they need to keep a conversation going from just a few talking points. In the end, they have to assess themselves. And they need to describe what they have learned or what they think that they have learned. This is where I find my pictures, and thank you for listening and watching my lesson design video.